Genesis 30. The baby wars are finally upon us. And you thought your own sibling rivalry was bad? Also, you're about to see the most incorrect genetics experiment ever. When Rachel saw that she was not bearing Jacob any children, she became jealous of her sister. So she said to Jacob, "Give me children or I'll die." Oh, so we're doing the emotional manipulation thing very early here. According to the previous chapter, though, it's not like they're not trying. Rachel literally cannot have kids. So what's up with the threat here? I need you to fix my reproductive system right now, or else you really won't have a fifth child. Jacob became angry with her and said, "Am I in the place of God who has kept you from having children?" Thank you. He gets it. Don't blame him, blame God. Then she said, "Here is Bilhah, my servant. Sleep with her so that she can bear children for me, and I too can build a family through her." Well, that threat took a strange turn. If you don't sleep with another woman right now, I will be so mad at you. Just a totally typical marital spat. Is Bilhah cool with this? I mean, we're never told, but I'm guessing she's not allowed to say no. So she gave him her servant Bilhah as a wife. Jacob slept with her, and she became pregnant and bore him a son. Then Rachel said, "God has vindicated me. He has listened to my plea and given me a son." Because of this, she named him Dan. That was another Bible passage describing rape. I just want to point that out. And Rachel doesn't get to say, "God's given me a son." That kid is not her son. There's no formal adoption going on. Really, this is just a kidnapping. Rachel's servant Bilhah conceived again and bore Jacob a second son. Then Rachel said, "I have had a great struggle with my sister and I have won." So she named him Naphtali. Wait, Jacob is still sleeping with the servant? Is this not news to anyone? And why does Rachel think she's won? She's kidnapped 2 kids. Leah has 4. I mean, I know the Bible isn't a science book, but apparently it's not a math book either. When Leah saw that she had stopped having children, she took her servant Zilpah and gave her to Jacob as a wife. Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a son. Then Leah said, "What good fortune!" So she named him Gad. Oh, so this is just a harem now. Women throwing other women at Jacob, against those women's will as far as we know, then taking credit for the children they conceive. Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a second son. Then Leah said, "How happy I am! The women will call me happy." So she named him Asher. If you're keeping score, and you should because there's nothing else to do, Rachel has 2 kids who are not hers. Leah has 4 biological kids, and another 2 who are not. And Jacob has 8 kids, 4 wives, no money, and I assume a very broken penis. During wheat harvest, Reuben went out into the fields and found some mandrake plants, which he brought to his mother Leah. Rachel said to Leah, "Please give me some of your son's mandrakes." Damn it, Rachel, stop taking things that aren't yours. But she said to her, "Wasn't it enough that you took away my husband? Will you take my son's mandrakes too?" "Very well," Rachel said. "He can sleep with you tonight in return for your son's mandrakes." Yeah, Leah, go get her. Also, what? Fine, sleep with him tonight, but I get a plant in return? Mandrakes are generally considered aphrodisiacs, so I guess it's not just any plant. But still, we know where this story is going. The trade-off here went from sleep with my husband and I'm taking your kid to sleep with my husband and I'm taking your plant. The husband seems to be worth a lot less these days. So when Jacob came in from the fields that evening, Leah went out to meet him. "You must sleep with me," she said. "I have hired you with my son's mandrakes." So he slept with her that night. She bought his penis for the night with a plant, and he doesn't even ask questions. He's like, "Wait, what? Okay, but let me at least take a shower first." God listened to Leah. and she became pregnant and bore Jacob a fifth son. Then Leah said, "God has rewarded me for giving my servant to my husband." So she named him Issachar. Jacob, you moron! This is a trap! You are 9 kids deep and you still haven't figured this out? Stop while you're ahead! Leah conceived again and bore Jacob a 6th son. Then Leah said, "God has presented me with a precious gift. This time my husband will treat me with honor because I have borne him 6 sons." So she named him Zebulun. If he's not treating you with honor before baby 1, it's not gonna happen after baby 6. Technically baby 10 for him. Sometime later, she gave birth to a daughter and named her Dinah. Oh, now we're not even doing foreplay, just here, one more. It's a girl, baby 11. Though since it's the Bible, it's really more like 10.5. But she has a name! You know what that means. She must be important. Then God remembered Rachel. He listened to her and enabled her to conceive. Wait, God forgot about someone who was literally in this chapter just a few verses ago? And he made her unbarren? Jesus Christ. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son, and said, "God has taken away my disgrace." She named him Joseph, and said, "May the Lord add to me another son." Hey, Joseph! We're finally in the musical section of the Bible. You know what's really sad? There still aren't enough babies for a TLC reality show yet. After Rachel gave birth to Joseph, Jacob said to Laban, "Send me on my way so I can go back to my own homeland. Give me my wives and children for whom I have served you, and I will be on my way. You know how much work I've done for you." Oh, buddy, we all know how much work you've done. He has so many kids, he needs his own nation now. But Laban said to him, "If I have found favor in your eyes, please stay. I have learned by divination that the Lord has blessed me because of you." He added, "Name your wages, and I will pay them." This again? Last time Jacob got to pick his wages, he asked for a wife and got screwed over. How about asking for something more tangible this time? Childcare, college tuition, free diapers? Jacob said to him, "You know how I have worked for you and how your livestock has fared under my care. The little you had before I came has increased greatly, and the Lord has blessed you wherever I've been. But now, when may I do something for my own household?" Why didn't we have this negotiation like 14 years and an egg carton full of babies ago? But you know Jacob's not going away quietly. He's gonna pull some sort of trick. "What shall I give you?" he asked. "Don't give me anything," Jacob replied. "But if you will do this one thing for me, I will go on tending your flocks and watching over them. Let me go through all your flocks today and remove from them every speckled or spotted sheep, every dark-colored lamb, and every spotted or speckled goat. They will be my wages. And my honesty will testify for me in the future whenever you check on the wages you have paid me. Any goat in my possession that is not speckled or spotted, or any lamb that is not dark-colored, will be considered stolen." Just get cash, dude. Don't play games with goats and sheep. What are you doing? But you know when Jacob says, "Don't give me anything," he is totally getting everything. In short, he's saying, give me some of the sheep and lambs and goats, the ones you don't like because they're not white. I only want those. "Agreed," said Laban. "Let it be as you have said." That same day, he removed all the male goats that were streaked or spotted, and all the speckled or spotted female goats, all that had white on them, and all the dark-colored lambs, and he placed them in the care of his sons. Then he put a 3-day journey between himself and Jacob, while Jacob continued to tend the rest of Laban's flocks. So the off-white animals are now a 3 days distance away from Laban's white animals, which Jacob has to take care of. Sneaky. Laban gets free labor for his animals, which will keep getting stronger, while Jacob's animals are somewhere far away, maybe not even breeding. It looks like Jacob just got screwed over again. What will he do? I'll tell you. He's gonna get revenge using science that doesn't make any sense. Jacob, however, took fresh-cut branches from poplar, almond, and plane trees and made white stripes on them by peeling the bark and exposing the white inner wood of the branches. Then he placed the peeled branches in all the watering troughs so that they would be directly in front of the flocks when they came to drink. When the flocks were in heat and came to drink, they mated in front of the branches, and they bore young that were streaked, or speckled, or spotted. Jacob set apart the young of the flock by themselves, but made the rest face the streaked and dark-colored animals that belonged to Laban. Thus, he made separate flocks for himself, and did not put them with Laban's animals. Okay, this is where it gets weird. He took tree branches, ripped off some bark so the branches were brown with white stripes on them, then placed them in front of the animals when they mated in order for their kids to have stripes or spots on their bodies, making them off-white, and therefore his property. Part of me wants to congratulate ancient Gregor Mendel here for conducting his own genetic experiments, while the rest of me is screaming, that's not how it works! Why would a striped piece of wood near the animals have any effect on their offspring's genes? It wouldn't. Any high school biology student with the Punnett square could tell you that. I know the Bible gets evolution wrong, but who knew its attempts at genetics were this misguided? And yet the Bible continues to double down on this striped branch theory. Whenever the stronger females were in heat, Jacob would place the branches in the troughs in front of the animals so they would mate near the branches. But if the animals were weak, he would not place them there. So the weak animals went to Laban, and the strong ones to Jacob. In this way, the man grew exceedingly prosperous, and came to own large flocks, and female and male servants, and camels and donkeys. So Jacob only did his wood trick when strong animals were nearby, which sounds clever until you realize the entire plan makes no sense. Anyway, Jacob supposedly learned how to breed animals like a champ, even though he really didn't. And by the end of this, he has created a little army of extra animals that are all his, unbeknownst to Laban, who thought Jacob was getting a crappy deal. So to recap, Jacob now has 4 wives, a truckload of babies, and a bunch of strong off-white camels and goats and sheep and lambs. The Bible says he's blessed, but I am pretty sure he is cursed. What was all that for? To acquire more animals? Let's not forget that along the way, we kidnapped several slaves' kids, traded a plant for a night of sex, and learned incorrect biology. This is a family battle better suited for a daytime talk show.